3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to 321 Liftoff. My name is Wayne Belden, and I'm the president of Belden Communications, publisher of the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com. And we'll be bringing you 321 Liftoff every week, talking about tourism in Florida's fabulous Space Coast. With me are your hosts, Pete Lynch, known as Promo Pete, the Director of Business Development for the Space Coast Fun Guide and SpaceCoastFunGuide.com, and Bonnie King, former Deputy Director of the Space Coast Office of Tourism, as well as past President of the Florida Film Commission. Pete, Bonnie, we are thrilled to have you both as co-hosts of 321 Liftoff.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to another tourism conversation on Florida's Space Coast. We are here today in the downtown Melbourne area, which is just south of Cocoa Beach, and we are talking with Tourism Executive Director of Melbourne Main Street, Kim Agee. And we're going to talk about her role with the Melbourne Main Street and the plans for growth of this area and the expansion of services that her office is involved in. But first, 321 Liftoff is brought to you in part by the Beachside Hotel in Cocoa Beach, a great place for you and your family to stay while you enjoy the fabulous beauty and the many attractions that we have here on the Space Coast. But first, I got to welcome my co-host, Promo Pete, Mr. Pete Lynch. How are you?
I'm great. What a beautiful day.
It's gorgeous here.
Awesome. We were worried about it being a little too chilly for us
here
in Florida because it's going to be in the 60s and 70s.
But the sun came out and it's gorgeous.
It is absolutely beautiful out here. But last week we talked with Michael Ayers, the president and CEO of the Melbourne Regional Chamber, and we discussed how marketing this area is truly big business. So today it will be interesting to talk to Kim about how she handles the business of marketing the Main Street area and how the mixture of retail business is working side by side with residential areas and the soon-to-be-opened new hotel called the Melby.
I love that idea. A hotel right smack dab in the middle of downtown shopping in this area known as the Melbourne Main Street. And we're here at the beautiful Crane Creek Inn, which overlooks the beautiful Crane Creek. We've seen dolphins out this morning. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful.
And
it might just not even be a word to,
I
we're
know.
understating beautiful. If you can even do that.
Well, we brought our heavy jacket to wear, and we came here and the sun is out and we're going, we don't even need to wear it. So we're so comfortable
staring at
here.
This hammock over here and the beautiful water, and we saw dolphins earlier.
And Crane Creek has some little chickens over here, so if you start hearing some noise or whatever, it might be the chickens talking to us. But with us is Kim Agee, and she's got the fabulous job to promote this area. So welcome, Kim.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad you're here. But, one of the great things about our tourism conversation is we get to talk to really interesting people who have not only businesses and attractions or whatever, we find out what their story is. What's the history of where you were? How did you get to where you are today? And you have had a fabulous background. You've been here a long time, and you've done some really cool things. So can you just give us a little introduction about, what you've done and
Sure.
and how you got here today?
Yeah, it's kind of a interesting circle. I was born in Melbourne at Holmes Regional Medical Center.
Oh, right.
How about that?
We won't talk about the year, but my family has had pretty significant investments in downtown Melbourne since the early 60s. I am part of the Meehan family, which is actually part of the founding families of Melbourne, the Goods and the Bojeans. My grandmother used to live in what was the mansion, which used to be called Mr. Bojeans, which is next to the Strawberry Mansion, which is now the mansion. And she grew up there until it burnt down, and obviously they couldn't live there anymore because it wasn't there. And so all the history books have our family in them, and it's kind of cool. One of my other relatives on one side was the first fire chief in Melbourne, and so there's lots of connections there. So I have a huge affinity in my heart is definitely with Melbourne. So I worked at our office supply and office furniture company from the time that I was 16 until my early 20s, and I took a job with Paychex, which is a payroll processing company, and was recruited by them and was a sales rep for all of Brevard and Indian River counties for a couple of years. And then you may remember, Bonnie, way back in the day when there was about 4 or 5 economic development organizations in the county, and I was involved very heavily with the Melbourne Regional Chamber and their, I think it was like a committee of 100 or something like that it was called at the time. And so I was pretty involved with that. they decided to form one economic development organization and pull them out of the chambers across the county to consolidate and just to be more effective and more successful in recruiting manufacturing and high-tech companies. And I was recruited to become their first community relations director, and that was back in 1993.
So that would have been the Brevard County Economic Development Commission, right? The EDC?
It was at the time, and then we changed. It was the Brevard Economic Development Council, I think, and then became... I was there for about a year, and then Linda Weatherman was hired.
Right.
And that's when we, changed the name and everything to the Economic Development Commission of Florida Space Coast.
Right.
And I was there for about almost 17 years, from 1993 until 2009. And then I had I started my own consulting company at the time. I did a bunch of work for BRPH for many, many years. I was in corporate relations and some business development for them.
And what was BRPH? Is that
BRPH Architects Engineers?
That's what I thought.
They're right at the corner of
Our
US 1.
listeners may not know what that is.
They're right at the corner of US 1 and Pineda Causeway.
Yeah.
And they have offices all over the country. And so I was helping them in some of the other locations too. And that was really exciting because they do a lot of space work on launch pads and just education and all kinds of different industries. And then I did a lot of work for Port Canaveral for a couple years. I was also there for some time and really, really enjoyed that. And then I got recruited to Health First and became the director of external affairs after Bill Ellis retired.
That's right. I remember
the iconic Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
May he rest in peace. And then I became the director of community relations. They stood up a new department of community relations and was asked to do that. And that is my passion.
Wow,
and
that's
so
great.
I love it. So and I was consulting a little bit after I left there, and then was contacted by Melbourne Main Street to do some consulting work for them. And it ended up being a full-time job, which I love. I started in February of 2020, and about a month and a half later,
COVID hit.
Wow, boom, right there.
So it's
We
been
all
an
base
interesting
everything.
year.
When did we're all base everything on COVID? So
It's been an interesting year. It's been great in many ways last year, and been challenging, and really just trying to. I think all of my experience and assets in terms of relationships have helped bring to bear help and assistance for the businesses downtown. So I'm really grateful for, just being here at the right time to be able to help.
yeah, right time. It always works out, doesn't it?
We always hear about how great the people are in this area, and the relationships truly are very important, to help business work out, and everything like that. So, it's great to have, somebody with your experience and your passion for the area leading the Main Street, because I think that's super valuable.
Yeah.
That, there's somebody that really knows the ins and outs of the area.
And I
Yeah, it's
remember
really
when your predecessor, which was Jaren,
Yep.
she carried a heavy load because really I think there was only like 1.5 people in her office at the time. And I remember when Jaren left, they were going to, okay, now who's gonna take that? Who's going to fill that job? Because that's a tough job when you only have 1.5 people. And I was happy to see your name when you got it. And then I found out you have 3. You were able to expand services and have 3 full-time people.
Yeah.
So that really helps because you guys are big too when you do special events in the downtown area.
Yeah, we have quite a few special events. And
So let's talk about that because
Okay.
of COVID and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I know that some haven't happened, but some are happening in 2021. So give us an update on that.
So we've got our Botanical Fest that's happening March 6th.
I love that. I really do. That is beautiful.
It is pretty incredible. It used to be with FIT, and when
Right.
they retired it, Jaren had a fabulous idea of absorbing that and continuing that legacy. So this will be our 5th year hosting it. It's in the 1900 building at the corner of US 1 and New Haven and Strawbridge.
Right.
And so it's in the east side of downtown Melbourne, and it's from 8 to 4 on Saturday the 6th. And we're really excited. We've got a lot of the vendors that have already signed up, and just really starting to promote that now and hope that everybody will come out.
Now explain what they're going to see.
Yeah.
When you say botanical, I mean
It's spectacular.
I know.
It's beautiful, but it's really a place where people can come and find really wonderful plants. They're very high-end providers
Right.
and suppliers, and so plants and products that support your landscape and your yard. And I think with COVID, with everybody being home has become a very, very important place for people. I think they're doubling down again, and they're making a lot of improvements. And I think this is just another way for them to kind of put the icing on the cake.
Well, not only that, but when you walk the area, they decorate with all the botanical and the flowers and the
It's
plants and things.
stunning.
So it's really stunning. I just like to walk through it. It's
Yeah.
very peaceful,
Yeah.
easy feeling. I really like it.
My
Citrus
wife-
trees,
Your wife would
flowers.
like it.
No, yeah, she wanted to go to it, and as a good husband, I went along with her. And admittingly, at the beginning, kind of begrudgingly that I went, and then when we walked through it, it truly is amazing.
Yeah.
It's, you get the different smells of everything,
Right.
the views, and we always come home with something.
And not only that, but then
that's the idea.
We do,
Yeah, that's great.
So I know what
That's
we'll be
really
doing on
good.
March 6th.
either March 6th or February 6th?
March.
March 6th.
yeah.
So what else? Any other plans for some special events?
We've got a special event that we're hoping to launch in April that I can't speak about right
Okay.
now, but it will be downtown and it will be like nothing we've ever done before or anybody else has ever done before.
we like
So,
to hear
Oh
that.
yeah, new things. That's
we
great.
like to hear that.
It's going to be pretty cool.
We'll get your contact information later, but can you give us your website just so, while we're talking about this,
Yeah.
if people are interested in finding out about these special events when they do come out?
Yeah,
That way
it's downtownmelbourne.com.
Oh, very
Oh,
easy.
that's easy.
Yeah.
We like that. We like that.
And
But
we
no-
have two Facebook pages. We have Downtown Melbourne Facebook page and also Melbourne Main Street Facebook
Okay.
page. So you can find us and also on Instagram at Melbourne Main Street.
I hear those
Perfect.
chickens. You hear those
I
chickens?
know,
Yeah,
that's
they're
awesome. This
so
is
See,
cool.
they're
such a
so
beautiful-
excited about downtown.
Yeah,
Right?
Well, go check out that Facebook page. This chicken, I think, is logging in right now too.
Well, the great thing too is that whatever you have going, we will also have on our page, and
for
Space
sure.
Coast Fun Guide will be promoting it as well.
Right.
So that's always
appreciate
good to
that.
know. So go into your website, go into our website is an opportunity. So, well, I'm anxious now to see what you're
I
going to
know.
do.
I'm
you
like,
know?
what haven't we done in this
I know,
area yet?
I know.
And that's going to be really exciting to find out what
It's
that
going to be
is.
special.
I'm looking forward to it.
So let's see. We have a hotel that's being built here that's going to open pretty soon, right? It's summer or sooner?
Second quarter.
Second quarter. Okay.
Yeah, we just took a hard hat tour this week.
Great.
It's very much under construction. It's kind of the first time they're letting people in. And I will just tell you, there is literally nothing like it in this county.
Wow.
The views are absolutely incredible, kind of speechless. Aaron from my office and I went up and got a tour, and I don't know what the guy was saying because
You were just
because the
going,
views,
oh, this is great.
They go for days. I mean, when you look to the west, you can see FIT and everything in that direction. You can see the airport and Holmes Regional Medical Center, and then you look over and you can see the Ogallie Causeway clear as day, and you wrap around and you see Crane Creek and you
Yeah.
see the ocean, and it's incredible. And
It's going to be so good for this area as well. Now that visitors can come in, they stay right here in the downtown area.
Yep.
You walk down, you can eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
There's
gonna be
always so
good.
much to do in the area.
Yeah.
But then you had to figure out, all right, we got to head out. But now you don't have to.
Yeah, well, you can stay at
stay.
Crane Creek Inn or
Oh,
Hotel
right,
Melbourne.
yeah,
Right.
definitely. This
Yeah.
is
and this view, that we have here at the Crane Creek Inn, as I said, I think we're showing some shots here. Mr. Podcaster is helping us out to do that, but these are great shots that we have
Yeah.
here. So this is all good.
It's a beautiful place.
So let's talk about the downtown area that you do get to promote, because there's a lot of restaurants and a lot of unique shopping. And we talked last week too, because what's really neat about the area too is it's a lot locally owned. So it's not like you're not going to see the same thing when you go in a store, and it's the same thing that you'll see in a mall or something of that nature. Nothing against a mall. We all know what malls are about. But to have an area like downtown Melbourne and Melbourne Main Street, you get to see really unique shops.
Everything is locally owned. It's pretty incredible, and they're all families or single people realizing their business dream. And I think one of the things I really need to do is do a shout out to everybody that's been visiting the area and also that live here that have decided to shop local during the pandemic.
Yes.
for sure.
I think we have seen an uptake in traffic starting to come back pretty substantially, and we're really, really happy. And I just want to thank everybody, because these are your friends, these are your family, your neighbors, and acquaintances that their businesses are struggling, and it's really, really good. We are really lucky we haven't lost any businesses due to COVID in downtown Melbourne, and that's not the same for main streets across the country.
Right.
And so we've been working really hard to make sure that they're okay, but they're smart people and they're doing good things and offering really great, really interesting products. I think there's a lot down here that people don't realize. So you kind of just have to get out, start walking, and go in some doors.
And that's the great thing is you really can just get out and start walking.
Yeah.
Everything is so close together that you can, check out all the different stores that there are in here.
I also love the theater that's down here. You've got the Henniger Center, and then there's the smaller one that has
Melbourne Civic
the
Theater.
Melbourne Civic Theater. Great acts, great shows. In fact, I think there's a new one opening right here at the Henniger Center, right?
I was there last night.
Godspell, isn't
Dominic. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was a dress rehearsal with the staff. There was probably maybe 50 of us in the whole theater, and it is spectacular.
Yeah, I've got it on my list. I'm coming. I think
it's
it
only
plays,
3 weekends.
Right. I was going to say through the end of January.
Opens tonight.
Yeah.
3 weekends. Yeah.
It's going to be a good show.
They've got a great lineup for the next few months too.
Such talent.
We're really lucky.
So what about also one of the great things in this area too are the murals that you have all over the place. So do you have a tour of that, or do people know where to go? I mean, how do you guys work that out? Because your murals are pretty fantastic.
They are.
They really are.
Like we can thank Jaren for that. That was her baby. But we have 13 different murals in downtown Melbourne. We don't have a formal touring happening right now just because of our small staff and things like that. But all the information's on our website at downtownmelbourne.com, and you can see the artists and pictures of them and a little bio of the artists and also the murals, and it's incredible. I mean, what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Well, I was just going to ask you the same thing. I was going to say, but I love the shark one when you come over.
Downtown O'Galley.
That's O'Galley,
That's
right?
O'Galley, yep.
But I love that one, and then I don't know, because they're all so cool, and you never know where you're going to find them. Like I'll look at a building and then realize,
it feels like you're driving by, you're like, I didn't see that before.
Right.
Yeah, they're very eclectic, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of marine life, obviously, because we are waterfront.
Florida.
I think mine might be Harry Good's Outdoor Shop, the Snook that's on the side of the building.
Okay.
When you're coming off the Melbourne Causeway into downtown proper, right there by the mansion to the left.
Right. Absolutely.
And
Well, what's great is because you see it when you're coming down over, which is why the shark one in the Galley is cool, because you come over the bridge and that's the first thing you see. Just like here, you come over into 192 or whatever, and you see you see it's very cool.
I do love the one that is at Backwater on Municipal, the Blue Jay and the oranges. That's pretty popular too.
Yes.
I like that one a lot. It's very different. So they're very different. We have a new one that just came online. I think it was last year or maybe end of 19, but it's more patriotic, and you can see it going down Melbourne Avenue as you get down almost to the High Line on the right.
And so the High Line, that's another new one to the area too. The High Line is an apartment building, so that's where we have our, residential combined with business right in the downtown area. So that just opened recently, and you got people now living there.
Yeah,
and
they're about 60% occupied.
Wow,
they have
that's
171 apartments, and they have retail on the bottom. They have space for a restaurant, and then 2 small retail spots. That's a significant investment for downtown Melbourne. Really increasing the residential is what's going to continue to feed the population that's going to shop in downtown and eat in downtown and have experiences in downtown and, throw axes and pour candles and all the really cool stuff that we have going on down here.
When you say throw axes, let's talk about that. Isn't that a new attraction that's here?
It is. Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
They had their grand opening last week, and
brand new.
We went. Yes.
Okay.
So you take an axe and you throw it.
Yeah. Well, you drink beer and you throw axes.
You drink beer and throw axes.
I had a tangerine White Claw, but yeah, it's pretty fun. It's really fun. I've never done it before, and that was my first time. And we actually threw an axe and cut the ribbon with the axe. They put it over the bullseye. It's really cool.
How many times did it take to throw?
I was going to say, because I would throw an axe, and I think it would not.
If you check their Facebook page, you'll see who actually cut the ribbon when they threw the axe.
Okay, that's interesting.
Was it you?
She's like, check the Facebook page. You're
gonna want to see. You got to look at it.
I can tell you that I went axe throwing one time with my son. They had a thing. He was 14, I guess, and his very first throw. Not only did he stick it on the board, which is hard enough to do, but he hit a bullseye. It took me 12 minutes because he was counting on his watch for me to even get it to stick onto the thing. So it is so much fun. It really is a lot of fun.
It's kind of addicting.
It gets out, and it's not a man-woman thing. Anybody can do it. It's not a strength thing. It's almost like darts. It's just having the skill to be able to, get it out there. But it's a lot of fun.
It
Wow.
is.
We need to go do that one time.
We do need to go do
You
that.
really,
well,
you really do. You really do.
Team building, act.
well, talking about that experience, we also
But if I
talked
lost to
about
Bonnie, I'd probably never hear the end.
the tank. You know, the tank place that we have here in Melbourne,
Mm-hmm.
where you can drive a tank and run over a car and stuff. Now that to me
sounds
so
amazing.
to me, go do that. Go do the tank and roll over a car, and then come down and have a beer and throw some axes.
Yeah,
You know,
I like it.
I think it's a
great
good way
idea.
to relieve stress.
And then go sip some wine at one of the nice
I
restaurants.
like
that we
that.
have
Absolutely.
down
You
here.
We have
know.
everything for you. Yeah. We have 34 restaurants.
Amazing.
34.
30 and not only that,
Who
you've
knew?
got the high-end restaurants, which are really nice, like anniversary, birthdays, or whatever that you want to go to,
Yep.
and romantic evenings out. And then you've got your easy sit outside, very casual. You have everything.
We do. We do.
I
and
love
I think
it.
we have 16 that have outdoor seating.
Yeah.
So like half. More
And
than-
that's expanded a lot lately because of COVID as well. But I love the outdoor.
yeah.
And that
me
works.
too.
Oh, hear them again.
And I'm watching these birds, like the pelicans, flying into the water here and grabbing fish out. It's such a beautiful view. And
Welcome to Melbourne.
I know you
Yep.
you love it, but people don't realize, I don't think, how good the food really is in our area.
Yeah.
People come here because the beach is awesome. That's great. Everybody,
Right.
the weather is perfect, but the food really is amazing, and there are some really good restaurants here with, any kind of food that you want.
It's around the world.
It really is.
We have a new restaurant that went in where you might remember the old Island Pasta.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And it was Quarters Brewing for a little bit, but now it's Coastal Bites and it's Peruvian.
Okay.
And I had never really had Peruvian food
I
before.
haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to try. It's really amazing. So it's another piece of that worldly collection that we have down here. We have, mengetsu and sushi and, just all kinds of things, French crepes.
We went
So
to a really good
no matter
Irish
what you want.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the Irish pub that's down here.
In
Oh,
downtown O'Galley,
Yeah,
you mean?
No,
Oh,
No,
you went to
the-
Mag O'Malley's?
I thought it was right by your office. Didn't we go to a restaurant there? I don't know. But
No.
Well, Meg
No,
O'Malley's is down there. I think they're
yeah,
closed
that's
for
the big one.
renovation right now.
Yep, they're hoping to be open before St. Patrick's Day. We
Oh, yeah,
hope.
good
we
time-
hope.
good
They got to be
timing.
open.
You
Lots
wanna
of
be-
I would
prayers.
you
hate
wanna
for them to be
open.
closed on St. Patrick's Day.
It would be a tragedy. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
So yeah, we want them back. We miss them so much.
So, what about some of the history that's in this area? I know that there's some old buildings here, some old houses or whatever. Anything that that you can talk about?
just there's a lot of historical buildings in downtown. That's one of the things that we've been working to inventory. I think one of the most iconic is the 1900 building, which is right at the entrance into downtown Melbourne on US 1, and that has. But you can see any of the pictures from the early. For all the way back to the 1800s, 1900s, and that building has been there since the 1900s, and so
Amazing.
it's really cool. It's offices now, and it's the neatest place. And then the Flatiron Building, when you come into a little bit past Helen Blazes and that area right there, where there's a little fork in the road. That Flatiron Building right there is another super iconic building that you can find in any historical picture that you find of downtown Melbourne.
I wonder way back then what the Flatiron Building was used for. I'd be interested in
that's
that
a great
because
question.
because it's got a neat look. It comes like to a point,
Yeah.
and
It was a center point of downtown
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah,
Because
very-
there was some fires down that eliminated a lot of the buildings, but there's still, even down from the Flatiron, when you go down along that side and the other side too, there's some really cool historic buildings that are there too. They're
Very
still there
nice.
from a long, long time ago.
we like
People
that.
don't think that Florida has the history that a lot of the
Yeah.
places up north have or whatever like that, and there really are some buildings that are old and historic, and
Speaking of old and historic, too, that train track that we have out
Oh,
here
yeah.
is really cool looking. I mean, and now they're building high-speed rail, which is going to go, it's called Brightline. It's going to go from, Orlando down
Yep.
to Miami.
From Orlando Airport. Yep.
Right. And so it's going to go right over there. I mean, you can see right by Crane Creek. And that, I don't know when the timeline on that is, but I know they're building right now.
Yep.
And
It's coming.
it's coming.
coming,
It's
yeah.
going to be an interesting new part to, but that's part of growing up and expanding, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
it's supposed
love-
to be quiet.
Yep, supposed to be quiet.
Yeah, so they're building right here over the over Crane Creek. They're building new trestles to lay the new track that will come over. So, There's a lot of activity. We might hear some pilings being driven today into the creek.
Or a train going by that we have for cargo that goes through here. I know I was talking to Curtis, who owns the Crane Creek, and he was saying that pretty much the trains go here at night, all like once an hour from midnight to 10 in the morning, and they ride through here. And, they blow their... I love the sound of trains going through. I got to tell you, I think it's very cool. And when you see it on a track like this, it's really neat because it's kind of an old-looking, thing. But anyway, I like it. So tell me, when you are on your own and you have no time and you're just on your time off or whatever, what do you like to do on the Space Coast?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So my daughter plays lacrosse, so we like to
awesome.
travel and play lacrosse.
I love to see that lacrosse is really taking on in Florida now. Because when I grew up in Maryland, that was the sport. It was lacrosse and then football. I have cousins that played, even professional, and I love seeing that Florida is taking off with that because it is a great sport.
It's a great sport. It's a great sport for girls too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so that's really fun. I grew up on an airboat.
So you have a tough daughter then.
I do.
She's playing lacrosse.
She's a midi and does the draw.
Okay.
So she's
I like
she's good. I'm gonna miss it when she graduates, but I'll have to find something else to do. So I grew up on an airboat. My dad's a big hunter and has an airboat even still to this day. He's 83, and I grew up in the marsh out at Lake Helen Blazes out in there. We had a camp way out and kind of went every weekend, and we would spend the weekends there and come back on Sundays, take a shower, and he'd say we're going to the yacht club for dinner. So it's like I can kind of
went from one extreme to the other.
To get the mud out of my toes, and
That's
then
so funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I love being in nature and being outside, and there's so much to offer on the Space Coast. I think one of my favorite places is just in the Indian River Lagoon. I love boating and just being outside, whether you go down to the sandbar, at Sebastian, or just, right here at Ballard Park. There's just so much to see and do. And it's just a special place.
It is a special place.
Yeah, being on the water. But tell us a little bit about your downtown Melbourne directory here. Because, the brand new edition just came out. I know, yeah. We are some of the first, first to hold it here.
Yeah.
So this is.
We haven't even delivered these to the hotels yet. So,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're getting it. So this is a directory you can also find on our website as a flip book, so you can kind of flip through it too. The new ones won't be out for about a month because we like to put the printed copy out in distribution across the county. But it has a listing of about 240 businesses that are located in downtown Melbourne. We have a lot of professional. And we have, when you think about 35 restaurants, and then we have bars and bakeries and ice cream cones and all kinds of stuff on top of that. But we also have, I think there's like 25 attorneys that are down here. We have some high-tech companies that have over 100 employees that are located in downtown. Yeah. So it's a pretty diverse area, and we just want to make sure that we're doing anything we can to let everybody know what's down here.
Yeah, lots of real estate I see in there because, again, you want to live here. If you're going to be from here, you want to live here. But I am seeing a thing right here in the front for Spa 902. Yep. And I just have to give a little shout out because Phil Smith, the owner, was a real mentor to me, 25 years ago. And I was a young buck.
You were just a baby.
in my first professional career. And he was one of my bosses. Back then, and I guess to 15 years ago, he opened Spa 902 with his wife Molly, and it really is an amazing place. Right down here in the Melbourne Main Street.
Yes, they're wonderful.
They're wonderful people, but they have a wonderful product too. I've taken my wife there. We did the couples massage and everything like that. So they do a really good thing. They are doing a Valentine's Day special too coming up. So their signature escape for two, and you can
amazing.
do that. It is great. So I just wanted to send some love to Mr. Phil there because he really made an impression on me as a young man, and I thank him for everything that he did to help me get where he gave me my first shot.
I love that story,
and I love it. So I appreciate him, and go check them out because they're right here too.
Yeah.
Well, we want everybody to go to the website that we've got. You want to give that website
and
spacecoastfunguide.com.
You can go there. You can find all the good things. There's lots of places in Melbourne. Coupons for restaurants,
which everybody loves.
Restaurants
and also the information. Let's talk about the beachside. Let's talk about the beachside hotel. So if you're coming down to the area and you're coming into that Cocoa Beach area, one of the hotels to stay at, newly renovated, $6 million worth of great renovation, retro look. the Beachside Hotel in downtown Cocoa Beach, right next to Ron John's Surf Shop, famous Ron John's.
They have a brand new lazy river in there.
Yep.
So it's a vacation from your vacation. You know, if you're hanging out at the beach all day, if you want to go down there, they'll give you all the stuff you need to take to the beach.
Which is very
you
nice.
You can get your surfboards and your chairs and your umbrella and everything you need. They'll hand it to you. They'll give you a little buggy that you can carry it down so you don't have to lift anything. But then when you get back from the beach and you want to just chill and relax, that lazy river, and of course the duck dive bar that they have there. Where
yes, I see you there on Sundays when you're watching football on that big screen.
You know, we might have stopped there for some drinks a couple times.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have very cold drinks there, you know, which is needed, and hot ones too, I guess, if it's cold out.
It's beautiful. I don't know, Kim, if you've been, you know, Cocoa Beach is about 20 miles from here. And because as you know, the Space Coast is 72 miles long. So we are a long county. And each area is so different. Melbourne, and then you've got that Cocoa Beach area. So it's about 20 miles from here. And they've totally renovated, and they've really done a great job.
Yeah,
they actually
beautiful.
did that lazy river right through the middle of the property. And so we try to go there a lot and do, you know, when we're not going on location, whatever, we'll go on location right there because it's
That's
such a
great.
great, a great shot.
It's got a great, beautiful view, you know, much like we're at
Yeah.
right now.
And it's good to see the redevelopment happening in Cocoa
Yes,
Beach.
it is.
You know?
Yes, it is.
And
And
downtown Cocoa Beach, and then all along the beach too.
And it makes you feel like you're back in that era, you know, the I Dream of Jeannie era, and it's bright, colorful looks, and
Very
you know,
iconic.
It is. It really is nice. You drive by and it's like, hey, that stands out.
beachsidehotelcocobeach.com, and you can look on their website to get any more information, any events that they're doing, etc. And you can talk to Michelle Martindale, who is their sales director, and you can call her. Their numbers are there, and you can get all the information that you need for the Beachside Hotel and Suites.
Absolutely.
in
And they are
Cocoa
running a
Beach.
special right now, too. So if you go over to their Facebook page, just look them up, Beachside Hotel and Suites Cocoa Beach. You can check out their special, which is running through through the weekend, I believe. So if you're looking for a deal to stay in Cocoa Beach, even if you live local and you just want to get out of your house,
That's true.
It's a way to do it because you definitely want to be in that water.
That's
and,
great. Okay,
know,
so
checking
what's
that out.
everybody doing this weekend?
Yeah,
you
you
got
got-
any plans this weekend, Kim?
I'm working
Besides,
on it.
I was going to say she's probably working, you know.
Working on it.
But I hear the weather is going to be good, so
Yeah.
it's always good here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'll be out in it. I can promise you that.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I'm going to take down my Christmas decorations. I haven't done that yet.
Bonnie.
So.
Okay.
Well, I know, but you know, I
almost
like it.
Valentine's
It's so
Day.
cozy looking. I really like it. Plus, I had some friends over for dinner on Wednesday, and they hadn't been there for Christmas, so I wanted them to see my
Oh,
decorations. So
well, that's fair.
it was nice, and I like it.
But
so
Christmas lights are so nice to like. It really does brighten your day. We had white ones around the house and then these red ones around the door, and so we took all the white ones down. It's like, oh well, Valentine's Day is
Yeah, I
kind
know.
of coming up, so we can claim that. We'll change it into a little heart or something like that.
well,
So
all my
we
decorations
did.
were inside, so it wasn't outside. My outside lights aren't on or anything
All
like
right,
that.
so-
It was all inside.
So nobody can make fun of you from
right
the outside. So
it's just
you're
nice and
fine.
cozy, and I
You're
like it.
fine.
So that's what I'm going to do.
There you
How about
go.
you? What are you going to do?
Oh, we're just hanging out with the family. It's
Yeah.
my kids are growing up, and it's good. Finals were this week, so for Brevard County schools, my son had his finals this week, and next week starts the next semester of school. So we're just gonna have some fun time hanging at home. We might go check out the Warbird Museum up in Titusville.
Well,
We've been there a couple times. Have you been
Really cool.
there? It really is. So
You got to get one of the guys to tour you, though, because
Yeah.
they have so much knowledge.
They do, and they tell you all the stories about it. But we finally watched Top Gun. So my son's 14, and we finally watched the movie. So now it's like, all right, you've seen the movie. Now you really got to go see these things. And a lot of times the people that take you around actually flew the planes too, so
Yeah,
they can tell you
yeah.
what we did and
It's the
how we
neatest
went
part.
Mach 5 or whatever the speed is. And so I think we might go check that out.
That's
Very
awesome.
good.
It's a great
Well,
idea.
I hope
Yeah.
everybody has a great weekend. Well, thank you, Kim, for coming and just keeping us updated. And we'd like to come back in the future, whatever, just to find
Yeah.
out what's happening, and especially when we find out what's going to
I know,
happen in
yeah, we're-
April now.
I'm just saying my birthday is April 22nd, so if you can work it out around that time,
Okay.
that'll
We'll
work
take
for
care
me.
of that for you.
That sounds good. All right.
I
Any
love
parting
it.
words you got to say there?
No, I just thank you. And if you can give us your website one more time, just so
Yeah,
people
it's
can check it out.
downtownmelbourne.com.
All
Easy.
right, sounds good.
That sounds good. All right. Well, then we
Love
will
it.
see you next week, right?
All right, have a great week,
Sounds good.
everybody. Take care.
Thanks.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to the 321 Liftoff podcast. I'm Promo Pete, and thank you again, Bonnie King. We had a great episode. Be sure to check us out every week And if you want more information, visit spacecoastfunguide.com or beldingcommunications.com for everything that we're doing in the area. You can also check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/spacecoastfunguide for all the entertaining things to do in our area. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, take care.